Oh my gosh.
Yeah, we're
There we
recording.
go. Take two. I was just talking away to everyone, and the Marianne's like, whoa, whoa. Wait a minute. Typical manifesting generator. So, as I was saying before, good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. Happy Mother's Day. Today is Sunday, May 8th. And I swear I was looking right at the calendar and almost said May 9th. It's another Sunday morning with Reverend Jamila Jamie and Reverend Marianne, and we would just like to welcome you to Sunday Morning Grace.
Good morning and
Morning.
happy Mother's Day.
Yes, happy Mother's Day.
And today we celebrate mothers and we celebrate all of those who are not only biological mothers or those who are raising children, maybe your grandchildren, but all of those who are maternal and caring and allow themselves to fill that need for somebody, whether on a regular basis or on a one-on-one basis, however it goes. But mothers come in all shapes, forms, and genders, and it's really about what comes from the heart and that maternal love. And that maternal love is one of caring, kindness, compassion. So happy Mother's Day to all those who have given birth, to those who are raising children, to those who are raising four-legged furry children, and other creature children.
Oh, yeah.
Today is a special day, and I know it's at least our second annual, maybe even third annual.
So it might be. I was going to
Mother's
say,
Day.
I think it's been a couple of years that this is my favorite Sunday morning grace. I love starting Mother's Day with Marianne. Y'all know I'm a little biased to Marianne as is, but it's just something really special. I'm not even sure what it is, and I don't need to know. I just enjoy the being in this moment and being in this energy on Mother's Day. It's the best way to start it.
Thank you. And I feel the same way. And it just happens that we tend to take the second week of the month, and Mother's Day is the second week of the month. So I'll continue that tradition as long as the universe will allow it. So to get us started and really into the juicy stuff, let's start with an opening blessing just to kind of join our hearts and our minds and our souls and our spirits. And just as you're able, whether you're joining us live now or later after the day's festivities or even later in the week, however it is, just remember we're all always together. And if you're able, close those eyes, put your feet on the ground, just feel yourself being grounded. Feel yourself being joined to the great mother, Mother Earth. Know that we're always connected and held in place and held in balance by Mother Earth. And that just as we respect our mothers and honor those mothers, those human mothers in our presence, so too must we honor the mother that supports us, that nourishes all of the planet. Remember, she too is maternal in that she cares for and she loves and she cherishes each of us. And it's our job to return that love. And so too today, we honor all of those wonderful people who are giving us their hearts every day, every hour, every moment. They're the ones that lift us when we're down, support us when we're feeling weak, and they're also the ones that jump up and down with us in our joy. And they're the ones that know that our accomplishments are their accomplishments as well, because everything that's good in this world, we share with each other. And as we share, we spread goodness into the world. So allow your joy to flow and allow that joy to overtake the world and to make this a calmer, peaceful, more compassionate and unified space. let's make that our mission on this Mother's Day, to become more unified in love and encouragement and togetherness. Blessed be.
Oh, it's beautiful. Blessed be. Blessed be.
Well, that I have to share was really different because you and I had both said we didn't know where it was going to take us, and I never planned for my blessings because I think that they are more meaningful when they are really just channeled. And that was not where I was going at all. So, so as I was walking the dog and I was thinking about this morning and what our topic was, it was not about Mother Nature, that's for sure, or Mother Earth, but it was just, thank you, angels, because that was such a beautiful and important message. So at least I feel so.
Yeah, well, I love it because I was like, I'm like you. I mean, we kind of have an idea where we're going to go each week with everything. And Mother's Day can seem so obvious, yet it's not. It's very multifaceted. And this holiday, I dance with at times because many of us no longer have our own mothers, and just different circumstances that can make today tricky. There's also mothers who have lost children, and it's it can be really tough. It can be really heavy. Some years I just bawl. Like I come on here and then I spend the day bawling. And my mom has been gone for 14 years now. Actually, this is always a weird time of year for me because both of my parents transitioned, and I will keep this short. But so my dad's actual birthday is May 2nd. My mama, her heavenly birthday is May 5th. And then we come with Mother's Day right after. So it's interesting, and grief is not linear, so I never know how it's going to go. I never know what messages are going to come, and this year's been okay. It's really been okay, and I'm grateful. I don't take the years that I feel happier for granted. And in that, I was thinking of the lightheartedness of mothering and what brings me joy. And Marianne knows, although I have some updates, I am like this mama to all the wild animals in my neighborhood. Okay. We crack up. I'm forever sending Rev Elvia and Marianne message or pictures of like all the animals that come to my house. I have a pair of cardinals. I have 2 squirrels. I started out with 1 raccoon. I now have 2. The other night, I did not inform you. I looked out my window because I have a possum. Well, there's 2 possums now. So I'm up to a pair of cardinals, 2 squirrels, 2 raccoons, 2 possums. And then I looked out last night and lo and behold, there was a fox on my porch. So
the animals are coming 2 by 2, Jamie. We're going to.
Yeah, I know. So now I'm like, okay, are we getting? Yeah, I know. I'm like, okay, are we like getting a second fox here in the future? But I just love like being able, and I know nature has its thing, but they come here because the other thing is I have 2 cats that I lovingly call not mine, that I feed, and one has pretty much become mine. But there's another one, he's very skittish and he's been coming for years, but he's just like, he has no desire to get close, and that's okay. I still feed him anyway. But in my feeding of them and in my nurturing of them, I've now started feeding and nurturing more wildlife. But it's like twofold on the message. One, how in that, if you look at it from an archetypical sense of the mother and the feeding and the nurturing and the caring and the providing, it's so cool to watch that ripple effect. Like over the years, ever since I moved here, there's always been like a stray cat or something. If animals get loose, they come here. It's just the energy. And I think which makes me happy that like I've created this space. But I really also just love that it just shows that like you can start out with something seemingly so small, your love and nurturing, and like it literally turns into this village. So, again, you don't have to mother a human child to have that mothering, matriarchal energy, and to be able to share that in the world. And then the second part is just genuinely the joy it brings me to watch these animals And sometimes it gets a little dicey because even the raccoons, like they fight over the food, and then the possums will come when the raccoons are there, and then it's really funny. Like they don't go into a brawl, but they all kind of snap at each other. But and they'll not like one of them will hit the food bowl and the food scatters. So like they still each get food, which it just tickles me that even in that, and it's just like I feel like I have all these kids out there like fighting over one toy, and but in that, just the joys that can be had, and in this as you're nurturing and growing your little, for me, my little tribe of wildlife animals. We say I have a wildlife soup kitchen running, and I just love it though, and it fills my heart. It brings me so much joy, and then of course my son comes down and he's like, "Mom, are the raccoons out?" Or and that even gives us a little bonding time and gets us away from the electronics, like unless I have the phone in my hand, because I can't help it. I have to take pictures. But to like just really be present with just the being, and it helps actually ground me and just gives me like these sweet little messages of being a mother and being present. And I love when I get to do it with my son and just us be present together and giggle and laugh. And it's still like, even though it happens, I mean, they're pretty on clock, one time, the same time every evening, the same order. Like I watch them, just all day long. They are all on their own time pattern, but it's still like to sit there and just have that wonder and that awe and that joy every day. And the flip effect on it is it in that mothering, nurturing of my wildlife sanctuary, it also connects me back to my inner child and just brings me, back to that state of just bliss and joy and excitement. And just like I can't wait for them to come and watch them. And yes, I'm just like turning into that the crone that sits in her window with all her animals. I love every minute of it. And I love that kind of nurturing mothering that I get to do and watching it grow. Although Mike at times is a little like, are you kidding me? How much food are you putting out there? And I give the same amount every night, but I don't know. I have a fox now, so I might start putting it actually off the porch though. But it's in my defense, it was raining since Friday, so I didn't want the food to get wet, so I put it on the porch. But and that's just where I was guided to go with today. And that, in ways that mothering brings me joy, but also expands and touches that quote unquote mother's love you think you're just touching one soul or one life, and it ripples out into many more. And I'm just going to leave it at that.
I love that. I love that. And I love your little sanctuary, and that they all seem to find you, and they have a human mother that is nurturing them. And I was, as I was walking, and very different, but yet they blend. And I was thinking about how our theme is miracles and the impossible becoming possible. And the truth of the matter is, in mothering, and I think I learned this, I know it's Mother's Day, but I think I learned this even more from my dad, was that impossible is just I'm possible without spaces.
Mm-hmm.
And it means really to just soldier on, to just plow through, and just to know and trust. And it even brings in that, and I've taken to using it a lot lately, is it's all good, our tenet, because it is all good, even when we're feeling like, I don't know what I'm going to do next, or I don't believe this is happening to me, or we're in that moment of despair or sadness or craziness. Just holding on to that, I'm possible. If I'm possible, everything is possible. It's all good. And it's kind of been just the way I've been living my life, not just right now with the things that are going on with Krista, but all through my life. That's the way my dad lived his life. He had heart issues from from the time I was a young mother. My dad was suffering with life-threatening heart issues, and he just pushed forward. And that was the miracle, is when you can see that it's okay. and just trust that whatever the journey you're on is the journey you're meant to be on. And to just trust that when you take that step, as long as it's guided and it feels possible, it feels real, and it in your gut, you know it's the right step, even though everybody else may be telling you, take it, because it's your journey, it's your path, and you are being supported on that path. And that's the way I've been living my life lately. And my dad being sick, my mom was his caregiver. And my mom also took care of all of her children. I'm the oldest of 5. And my youngest brother and sister are 9 and 11 years younger than me. So if I was in my early 20s, my sister was still in school. She was still, a young child. And so my mom was taking care of my dad and his in and out of the hospital. And he had been from a time that I was in high school, because he had back issues that led into his cardiac issues. But she just followed the breadcrumbs with the love and support of her mom. And I did so with Krista when she was young, even though she wasn't unwell at that time. I was a young mom. I became a single mom when Krista was 4 months old. And I just followed the breadcrumbs, even though they weren't traditional, even though they weren't normal, even though they were hard. And I relied on the people around me, generally my mom and my dad, to get me through. So, long way of saying, follow your gut, and that will be the miracle, because everybody has miracles in them. Everything that seems impossible is absolutely possible. It may not be possible the exact way you're envisioning it, but it is possible because it is what you were destined to have, where you were destined to go, what you were destined to be.
I love that. Because if you think about it, I mean, even, this past month, if you're in our Living with the Angels community, we did 30 days of angels. And I loved it. It challenged me, it pushed me, but it was so awesome. And in that, each day we were sending out an email with different angels you could call on. And I think that was like the one message that kind of kept coming through for all of us, right? Is that when you ask, like when you call and you ask, just do no more, follow those breadcrumbs, but you don't have to keep trying to figure it out. And sometimes we don't even know, we know to take the next step because that's what we do, but we don't even always know what that next step is. But we also don't always have to figure it out. When we just, put that trust and faith and source and God, universe, whatever it is for you, that bigger thing outside of yourself, that, we really like when we surrender, the miracles are there. And that's kind of been a theme, even, astrologically and in human design, that's been playing out for a little while now, is miracles. On one hand, it's, and the polarity, right? It can be chaos or it's miracles and blessings. So I feel like when we try to come in and control and we want to take the breadcrumbs and, put them in just this way or that way, like it can actually cause a chaos, because if it's not meant to be that way, we think it is because either a conditioning or it just makes sense, because not everything makes sense, and miracles don't always make sense. I think that's the beauty of them. When we get out of the way and we allow them to happen and come and unfold, that they're there all around us. There's a miracle. I have wildlife that just hangs out with me and gives me high fives on the window. Marianne has the miracles of, like, if you all really knew everything in this woman's life, that she's even here right now. And not because she is axing herself, I don't mean it like that, but just because if she didn't trust that God was taking care of her and the miracles unfold daily, she could just be really, really depressed and not have the energy to get out of bed, and it would be completely understandable. But yet she trusts, and the miracles come every day. And the miracles, granted, we love the big miracles. Like, there are some miracles I would love to see unfold. We don't know if that's what's meant to be, but even allowing yourself to slow down enough to see that breadcrumb is a miracle. And the breadcrumb may literally just be getting out of bed. It's a miracle I got out of bed today. I'm so grateful. And then staying in that space of gratitude and grace and, well, grace as much as you can, because sometimes I'm not the most graceful person. But when you can really allow yourself to stay in gratitude of the miracles that are there, and not putting expectations on what they look like, it's just like I feel like it just opens up space for more, and it does take that impossible to possible.
Exactly. And it sometimes it looks messy. The miracle looks messy. And as you were talking, I had this vision of the artist who just kind of takes paint and throws it at a canvas, not knowing what they're doing. It's just they're throwing it in the direction that they're inspired, using the colors that they're inspired to use. And when they're finished, it may not have a lot of rhyme or reason, but it is a masterpiece. And when you look at it, you can see the beauty of it. And it wasn't planned, and it wasn't thought out, and it wasn't really intended. All that was intended is I'm going to allow whatever is to come to come. And sometimes that is the greatest thing we can do in a miracle, to create that next miracle in our lives, is to say, I'm open to what is to come next. Guide me, and I will follow through and trust. So that's how we create our miracles, is just through surrender and trust. And obviously a little common sense here and there, but
Yeah.
like you're not going to go out and hand feed your wildlife,
No.
but you are going to enjoy them from your window.
Yeah.
So throw in a little common sense and just really allow what's to unfold, and have no set expectations on the outcome, and trust that whatever the outcome is, it's all good.
Mhm.
And with that, I feel complete.
I am completely complete. That's
Awesome.
Yeah.
Time for tenants?
Yay. Already.
All right. All right. You want to get us started?
I sure will. All right. So if you're guided, just get nice and comfortable. If you want to place a hand over your heart and just closing your eyes if it feels right, and taking a nice deep breath in, and just allowing these tenets as we read them to you to just really fill your cells, fill your being, and allow yourself to embody them in the grace that's held within them. I open my heart with deep gratitude and intend today to master my spiritual, mental, emotional, and physical energies. I am dedicated to my spiritual practice. I surrender to my soul's purpose through sacred prayer. I own my guidance.
I live in partnership with my angels. I serve with a loving heart. I am compassionate in every moment.
I trust it's all good. I allow immediate forgiveness. I honor my truth.
I listen to the spiritual messages within my physical body. I express myself creatively. I love all beings with an open heart and an open mind. I am one with Mother Earth, and so it is.
And so it is, and so it shall be. And as we embark on the beginning of the week, the rest of our day here, be it you're celebrating Mother's Day or just celebrating the day, which I always think is a beautiful thing to do, may you go forth and see through God's eyes. May you speak words of love. May your heart meet everyone with love and compassion. And with each footstep that you take, may you leave a legacy of love wherever you go. Blessed be.
Blessed be. Thank you, my dear.
Thank you.
And now, enjoy your Mother's Day.
I am. I'm going to go embody being queen for the day, and which means go feed all the animals that'll be waiting for food because I didn't feed them yet.
Well, that's what a queen does. She
That's right.
feeds her servants with her subjects with love.
That's right. That's right. And then in return, I get to watch them today and just chill. So I'm excited.
Enjoy.
I hope you have a
And
beautiful day as well.
I will. I'm going to go spend a day of companionship and love with my girl.
I love it. I love it.
And then we'll share a meal later. And she doesn't want me to cook. So I get to choose where we order out
Oh,
from.
yay. Good, good, good. Yeah, I have to figure the dinner thing out yet, but we'll see. We'll see. To be continued.
And whatever you, our beautiful community, are doing, do it in love and do it in joy. See you next time.
Bye.